अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी, वेलकम। और मेरा काम ये है कि माहौल को थोड़ा सा कैजुअल कर दिया जाए. सो दिस इज़ अ बाइलिंगुअल इवेंट. ऑल स्पीकर्स प्लीज़ उर्दू में बात करें, अंग्रेज़ी में बात करें, वट एवर यू फील कंफर्टेबल इन, सो दैट सबको मज़ा आए और समझ में आए. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू. मुश्किल बातें, सेमीकंडक्टर, मुश्किल चीज़ें, the pull for them is always hard. मुश्किल होता है अपने आप को सैटरडे की सुबह उठाना, वक्त पे पहुंचना. तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गेटिंग हियर ऑन टाइम एंड सो वी कुड स्टार्ट द प्रोग्राम. लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड जी. तो today I don't speak as 10x engineers. Inshallah I'll do that tomorrow. Today I'm one of the many engineers, most younger than me, but some maybe even older than me, जो इस बाग को लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. That's all I am. और आज की इस छोटी सी काइंड ऑफ प्रेजेंटेशन का मकसद वो लोग जो अभी अभी इस बाग में आए हैं या कुछ अर्सा पहले आए हैं, आप सबको एक थोड़ा सा हिस्टोरिकल पर्सपेक्टिव देना कि ये सिलसिला, ये जो करंट वेव है जिसकी वजह से आज हम सब यहाँ पे इकट्ठे हैं, ये कब स्टार्ट हुई, कैसे स्टार्ट हुई और ये कैसे कैसे यहाँ तक पहुँची. So it's a very small kind of a quick brief history. So this talk will not go into the details. It will not talk about anything that's confidential. So it will only talk about what is publicly known about the various companies that operate in Pakistan. And almost by necessity, I cannot possibly cover everyone and every institution that has contributed. So please, apologies a priori if I missed the work that you have done. Doesn't mean that I'm meant to diminish it, just ke insano bhul gaya. So with that, let's get started in a short history lesson for the next 5 minutes. So before 2019, there were many starts that the semiconductor industry took inside Pakistan. So back in the late 90s and early 2000s, Enabling Technologies के नाम से एक company थी, Andrologic के नाम से एक company थी. These were companies that were designing chips in Pakistan that were state of the art at the time. Can you दरवाज़ा बंद कर देते? We're getting noise and please come on in. I'm sure कि बाहर कंपनी अंदर से ज़्यादा मज़ेदार है, लेकिन वो कंपनी अंदर ले आए. Thank you so much. And then in the 2000s, we had another start. Companies like Palm Chip and Open Silicon started operations and started to build teams in Pakistan. Today, none of those companies, you saw them on the slide, right? तो एक legitimate सा सवाल उठता है कि where are these companies? Well, these companies don't exist anymore in the form that they're not in Pakistan, they're not operating teams here. उन्होंने पाकिस्तान में growth नहीं की. But their impact is still here. So a lot of what you see today as this generation of semiconductor industry, इसकी दाग बेल जाके उन्हीं efforts के साथ मिलती है. And I will try to show some connections, and obviously I can't do justice to it. Very recently, many of you might have heard, company started by two Pakistanis, Wajahat Kadir and Rehan Hamid, with the name of Kinara, was acquired by NXP for more than $300 million. Mashallah, one of the largest acquisitions by a semiconductor founder of Pakistani origin. Both of them were at Enabling Technology. यहाँ से उन्होंने अपने सफ़र का आगाज़ किया. That was almost 25 years ago. So 25 साल लगे उस बीज को बड़ा होके यहाँ तक पहुँचने में कि आज that's a globally recognized quote-unquote success story. It doesn't happen overnight. So that's one example. But that's not the only example. I put success in quotation because there is no one definition of success. The definition of success cannot just be a large acquisition, a large equity. There is ways to make impact in other ways. For example, Fast IC Design Lab, जो Rashid Ramzan run करते हैं, Rashid cut his teeth also at Enabling Technologies. इसके साथ साथ other companies like Renzyme that Yasser is part of, Care that I think many of you are also part of. All of these started their journeys there. So even though these companies don't exist, we can still smell the impact of those companies and the efforts that went into it. तो आई थिंक ये बहुत ज़रूरी है इस चीज़ को अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए कि कोई भी चीज़ हिस्ट्री के से फारिग नहीं होती. नथिंग स्टार्ट्स ऑल ऑफ अ सडन, इवन दो इट लुक्स ऑल ऑफ अ सडन. सो this was pre-2019. This talk is about 2019 and onwards. What happened in 2019 was a new beginning of semiconductor industry in Pakistan. This was our third attempt, and as they say, maybe third time is the charm. और ऐसे ही लग रहा है कि inshallah this will be a more stable and enduring success. What happened in 2019? ये बड़ी मज़े की कहानी है कि 2019 में 3 parallel efforts start होती हैं, and almost none of them know about the other. They're all starting within the same few months, लेकिन एक दूसरे के बारे में बहुत कम पता है कि ये हो रहा है. कराची में ड्रीम बिग सेमीकंडक्टर्स एक सिलिकॉन वैली स्टार्टअप है, वो अपनी एक टीम स्टार्ट करती है. सोहेल सैयद उसके CEO हैं. He starts a team. I don't see Dream Big team, but they were here somewhere. Yesterday we met, all of us met. Dream Big team is here? I saw, there you are. So this team starts, unbeknownst to folks in the effort number 2, which was started by NECOP, arguing कि हमें पाकिस्तान में defense technologies के लिए भी semiconductors की ज़रूरत है, and we should build expertise to design these chips in Pakistan. But in order to build that expertise, बजाय इसके कि हम लोगों को बाहर भेजेंगे वो जाके पढ़ें, why don't we start master's program, graduate programs in Pakistan, ताकि यहाँ से ही हम वो अपने engineers को तैयार कर सकें, right Fahad? So this effort starts and wisely starts 3 master's programs all across Pakistan. In Islamabad at FAST Islamabad, led by Dr. Rashid Ramzan, in Karachi at PAF Keet, led by Dr. Aslan Javed, and in Lahore at LUMS, led by Dr. Awais bin Altaf. So these things are starting now in 2019, thinking that we are starting this industry, we're getting this plant on. There is a third effort that also started, which Naveed Bhai was the founder of, Lampro Malin, that started a design center as well as a training program here in Lahore. And the idea was we will train engineers, and through that training, we will create engineers who can serve this industry, and then these people can go and work in companies all over the world. So this effort starts, and about 100 engineers go through that training. So this was sort of a unique moment कि 3 चीज़ें start हो रही हैं, एक दूसरे से कोई synchronize नहीं हुआ हुआ, but तीनों अपना अपना असर दिखाती हैं as we move forward through the years. So what happened since 2019? Over the last 5 years, that small start has grown into almost a dozen companies now. 10xEngineers starts in 2021. April Fool Day 2021 we started. Impare starts soon after. Comaira Solutions, another Silicon Valley company, opens an office in Pakistan. Excelarium, a company started by Rahil Khan, California-based Pakistani entrepreneur and engineer formerly at Qualcomm. He starts a company. He also starts a team in Lahore, then Karachi and Islamabad as well. GSME, Faraj Jahangir, he starts a team, starts supporting the IC Design Lab in Islamabad, and through their collaboration comes GF Metrics. Arcana Semi recently started about a year and a half ago in Islamabad by Invent, Chip Experts, and many, many more. Now, these are all the companies that have sort of had starts in slightly different directions, slightly different business models, but they're all pushing the same goal कि हमने पाकिस्तान में इस इंडस्ट्री को ब्रॉड बेस करना है, डिफरेंट एक्सपर्टीज के पूल तैयार कर रहे हैं और डिफरेंट बिजनेस मॉडल्स को एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है. That's what I find really exciting about this third wave. It's not 1 or 2 big players जो बहुत तेजी से grow कर रहे हों, और वो growth can go either way, right? We all know that. This is more grassroots level efforts, each individual identifying कि ये opportunity मुझे अच्छी लग रही है, let me try to do something out of that. And that's where we are today. So what happened to those 3 that we talked about on the last slide? So Dream Big, mashallah, continued to grow. Now it's a team of about 200 engineers. Dream Big team, or their IP was acquired by ARM Technology, so that proved that this team in Pakistan can produce really world-class IP, world-class designs. Lampro Malin team was acquired by Rapid Silicon, and the MS Design programs, the program at FAST is continuing and has grown, mashallah, a lot. You'll hear about it later today. The IC Design program that started at LUMS has transitioned into MS Digital and Embedded Systems program, जिसके बारे में आपने अभी सुना, Dr. Ali say. The PF KEAT program, as far as I know, has discontinued, and I don't think that's continuing. So again, the thread you will see is कि जो start हुआ था वो थोड़ा सा किसी इर्तिका के अव्वल से गुजरा, लेकिन चल रहा है, right? Somehow the journey continues. Maybe not in the form जो हमने 5 साल पहले सोचा था, but it continues nonetheless. There are other companies which are not designing chips or working with chip design companies, but which are adjacent to this market. And I think that's very important to recognize as well. Okay, it's not just about companies that are doing the design or doing the verification or doing this embedded software for this. This is also stuff that goes around chips. So YieldWorks, I saw Umar in the back. YieldWorks, yield production data ko organize करते हैं, customers के लिए meaningful बनाते हैं. Thanks for coming, Umar and Umar. R&D Altanova makes high-speed PCBs for test equipment. ICEDA, Naman Sab is supposed to be here. I don't know if he's here. This is a local vendor to provide cadence design tools to the local industry and academia. So that is another important need. Digitech, Nunami, coming out of Karachi, working in RFIC and embedded systems design. So as you can see, एक छोटा homegrown but एक resilient सा ecosystem बनता जा रहा है step by step. But why did this happen? This question is being asked to me, I think, from the student community probably the most over the last 5 years. कि ये पहले क्यों नहीं हुआ? अब क्यों हो रहा है? So I will try to describe in my view, and this is the only opinion slide, everything else was facts, this is the opinion slide, why this happened. So there are three reasons I see. There was a transition in the industry happening. A lot of startups coming because the end of Moore's law and the AI hardware being in demand meant that new startups were coming with new chips, and that meant that there was a demand for talent in this industry that was not being met by the more established player. And this also includes sort of large hyperscalers, the Amazon, the AWS of the world, kind of scaling down and saying, humne bhi chips banani hai. Everybody wants to make chips now, right? So that was one, I think, that's probably the largest reason. Because hum bahut chote hain, right? It's the global economics have to be in that direction कि हमारे लिए चीज़ों को facilitate करें. The second was geopolitics. I think you've heard a lot about it. I won't talk much. The picture is there for anyone to see that yes, there is now a demand and a realization that countries, nations have to develop their own supply chains in this. But there is a third point that I think is sometimes missed, and that is people. वो लोग जो इस बात पे convinced हैं कि ये हो सकता है और ये हम ही करेंगे. That's the critical piece as well. Without that, the other two would not have made any difference. The geopolitics would have been the same, the industry inflection would have been the same if the people were not there, not ready, not willing to take the bet, not willing to take the risk. Who are those people? Look to your right, look to your left, look behind you, look in front of you. That's who we are. Farhan, पिछले 8 साल से मेहनत कर रहे हैं at UIT Murdoch. All of these efforts compound over time. And without, they can never understand, yes. When you start on this journey, it's never clear कि ये बड़े होके क्या बनेगा. But the only thing that's clear is कि इस वक्त तो यही करने का काम है. So हमने इसे कहते रहें. So to me, those are the three things. So where do we stand? This is sort of the last kind of declarative slide. Where do we stand today with respect to the global? This may be a downer, but I want a reality check. So the global semiconductor industry this year will be something around $8 billion. तो वो 8 बिलियन का लफ्ज़ बड़ा छोटा सा लगता है तो मैंने सारे जीरोस डाल दिए आसानी के लिए. $800 billion इतने सारे सिफर होते हैं. Any guesses कि हमारा इसमें से क्या शेयर होगा? How much revenue will Pakistani companies, all of them, वो जो 2 slides पहले आपने देखी थी, how much revenue all of them will make? Aisha, co-founder of 10x, she's hiding her face because she knows it's an embarrassing number. Any guesses? Oh, mashallah. Somebody is very optimistic. 500 million. बेटा आपका कोई और धंधा लग रहा है जिस धंधे में हम हैं उसमें तो इतना नहीं हो रहा. I like that expression बेटा जो आपके face में था. Oh my God. It's better than zero. Yes. It is about, and this is an optimistic guess, 0.002% of that number. But exactly as Naveed Bhai said, it's better than zero, and everything big starts small. Can anybody tell me, what do you see on the picture to the left? This was the first office. This is the first campus. This is the first headquarters of Google. The picture in the middle, that's the team that launched Apple II. And the picture on the right, Jeff Bezos sitting in his magnificent Amazon office. Each of these companies is more valuable than the entire semiconductor industry this year. हम भूल जाते हैं कि चीज़ें शुरू कहाँ से होती हैं. हम भूल जाते हैं कि उनमें कितना वक्त लगता है. हम भूल जाते हैं कि उनमें कितना खून पसीना लगता है. All of you are familiar with these three companies. Many of you are probably holding technologies that they build in your hands right now. You take it for granted कि Amazon इतनी बड़ी थी, Google इतनी बड़ी थी, Apple इतनी बड़ी थी. No. It all started from that very, 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 very humble start. So, each of these companies is bigger than the entire semiconductor industry. They're all $1 trillion above valuation key companies. Right? So, with that note, the question is, how was this, ये जो गुलिस्तान बना, ये कैसे बना? कहाँ पे वो seeds लगे? I wanted to talk about some of the institutions that helped build this. सबसे पहले, starting from Karachi, UIT Merle has been really one of the most inspiring examples for me personally. Without any government support, how this small lab, small band of I think, diehard people have persistently said, give up nahi karna bas. That's the only option that's not on the table. Baki sab options available hain. Rashid Ramzan, a gem of a human being, and really a force of nature. Agar kabhi aapne hurricane ko experience karna ho, तो राशिद के साथ कोई थोड़ी देर बहस कर ले तो आपको पता लगेगा कि एक हरिकेन कैसा होता है. यूटी लाहौर एंड डॉक्टर ताहिर. अभी भी these are the institutions that are still building the largest and the best human resource that's coming into this industry today. And that's because they started early, they believed early, and they kept on and on and on. And have been built. Nast, Hamad, and many before, usse pehle Rehan and Abid, all chipped in and built that as well. NED, Dr. Hashim is there. Lums mein, Ali, Adil, thank you very much for hosting us. And I think you're showing your commitment is not just to master students and everybody. Your commitment is to the larger ecosystem and helping build this industry. And many, many more, obviously, that I could not name. How did the workforce get trained? Still the most reliable path for us in the industry has been in-house training. So at 10x, we have a structured training program, very similar program exists in Dreambig, very similar program exists in Akertech, Arcana, all of those companies. There are these master's programs just start hue, which are getting sustained. That's adding to, I think, very high quality talent, which is not just ready for work, but is publishing research at conferences that builds credibility about Pakistan. NUST Chip Design Center started first as a very small training that we did in 2022. Minte tarle karke humne 4-5 log ikakhe kiye. Let's start this training. It was an industry-led training, and we did that. Knowledge Streams conducted a training, and now many others. I don't want to go into details because you will hear about these programs जो चल रहे हैं और जो नए आने वाले हैं during those invited talks in the program today. So I wanted to kind of skip over that. इसके अलावा, obviously, just these training programs are not enough. Other activities have to happen, such as this summit. The first one happened in 2024 in Islamabad. The second one is happening now in Lahore, inshallah, the next year. Now we will have this as an annual event, and inshallah it will keep growing. So अगले साल के लिए दोस्तियाँ अभी से बना लेंगे. Next time मैं आऊँगा तो खाना आपने खिलाना है मुझे. There's a Semiconductor Industry Fellowship which supports students who are devoted to building this industry in Pakistan. We support them in their graduate programs in these master's degrees. as well as sort of other programs as well, support for undergraduate research labs like the MEDS lab, like Merle. Many generous individual contributors have contributed. So it's not just the companies, it's not just the universities, but many. And then there have been many of these faculty co-companies mein leke aaye and have them go through, faculty and the industry work together on some research project, and through that we do the work. And inshallah we'll have more such faculty members, right Sonia? All right, the bottleneck remains the bandwidth of the experienced engineers. People who have 5-10 years of work experience, we still don't have enough of them to be able to scale. तो आप जितनी भी आज बाकी बातें सुनेंगे कि हम पाकिस्तान में हज़ारों लोगों को तैयार कर देंगे, सैकड़ों लोगों को तैयार कर देंगे, keep this thing in mind. This is someone who would love to grow. Our team is now about 120 engineers. Would have loved to have 240 engineers. This is the bottleneck. And I think this bottleneck, if you ask any company today, they will point to this as the bottleneck, that yes, without this, without solving this problem, we can't go forward. But inshallah, हमने बाकी मसले solve कर लिए तो ये वाला भी कर लेंगे, right? And obviously the faculty members with the right skill of expertise keep on doing what they're doing. That's the other bottleneck, that we don't have enough across all the 180 universities in Pakistan. चलें जी, तो हमने फिर करना क्या है? Well, that's what the next 2 days are about. That's not for me to tell. That's for you all to tell. Your own stories, in your own ways, in your own words. Tell that story कि हमने कहाँ जाना है. अगले 5 साल की कहानी क्या होगी? हम अगले 5 साल तक ये नहीं करेंगे दोबारा 5-year review. But let's come to 2030 and do a review and see कि हमने क्या कहानी build की थी यहाँ पे, क्या-क्या चीज़ें थी जिनके ऊपर हमने फैसला किया कि ये करना है. And then we banded together, worked on it, and eventually accomplished. Thank you very much, Ji. Let's get to the program.